What seems to be the problem? Why did you call my company?
As you can imagine, we go through a lot of meat in any given week. And particularly on the brisket, it's got a big fat cap on the top. We trim a lot of that off and leave just a thin layer of fat before we smoke it. So we found a way to turn that into a new revenue source by selling that to small butcher shops and little markets that might make their own hamburger, for instance, or sausages. The amount of fat that should be coming off and being sold out really isn't matching up to what it should be.
So, Chris, have you talked to your prep cooks to ask them where this meat trimmings are going?
Yes, Charles, I have. And they say, oh, it's the busboys that are throwing it away, which is possible. But if it's happening out of habit or forgetfulness, it really needs to stop.
Oh, absolutely. You could be talking 100 pounds of meat trimmings, I would imagine, or more every
Easily.
single week that you're missing.
Right.
The best place to start is with your prep cooks and busboy.
Great. I'm looking forward to it.
For this sting, Mystery Diners will be focusing on Cook Will, Cook Albert, and busboy Charlie. 3 employees who may be responsible for a reduction in the restaurant's valuable fat trimmings. Mystery Diner Amber will pose as a customer, and Grant will go undercover as a waiter in training.
Well, I'm noticing that Albert's trimming is not what you described as your typical process, because there's a lot of meat attached to that fat.
You know, it doesn't take that much to be able to do this, but you shouldn't have that much meat coming off with the fat.
I mean, he is being extremely wasteful with that brisket. It's like he doesn't even care or that you'll even notice.
Yeah, I know. This is ridiculous.
Whether Albert's doing this out of laziness or if he's got ulterior motives, this is costing you a lot of money.
Hey man, what's up? I'm Graham, the new server.
Hey, what's up, dude?
What's your job?
Trimming fat off the brisket here. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Why do you do that?
Customers, first off, don't want to eat a bunch of fat. Yeah, second
I guess
off,
that's true.
the owner sells it. He sells his stuff. That's why I gotta take the time to cut the crap out of all of it.
Hey, Grant, ask him how some of the pieces still have meat on them.
I noticed some of these pieces of fat have like a lot of meat attached to them.
It doesn't really matter, dude. There's so much meat here. They would never notice little freaking pieces like that.
There's easily enough meat in that bin for 2 or 3 servings of brisket.
All of that meat could have been used in the restaurant. I'm losing money on this. I mean, this is really bull.
It's getting sold to the customers or secondary buyers. What do they care?
Yeah, but you're probably selling it for much less to a secondary buyer, right?
It's all money in the pocket, bro.
I hear you.
This business, the margins are super tight. Everything matters. So the idea that one of my employees would think that way even, it hurts.
Well, nice to meet you, Albert.
Yeah, bro, take it easy.
This guy's just doing a bad job all the way across.
As hard as it is to see that Albert's not trimming your meat properly, it still doesn't explain where all your meat trimmings are going.
That's a good point, Charles.
We're just gonna have to keep an eye on him and see what we can find out. Amber, ask if they'll sell you a pound of meat trimmings. Say it's for your grandmother for a special recipe.
I actually have another question for you.
Yeah.
We're big meat lovers in my family. My grandma is making this special recipe.
Okay.
I was wondering if there's any way I could buy a pound of meat trimmings.
Yeah, I have
Be
no
a huge
idea.
help.
I know that we don't do that, so.
Well, Audra passed the test, so I want to find out how your kitchen staff will respond.
That's a good question, Charles.
Sorry, I know it's a little weird situation, but I'm kind of desperate. My grandma's making this special recipe, and we're running really low on meat trimmings, and I was wondering if I could purchase a pound of meat trimmings from you guys.
We're not supposed to sell to licensed vendors. Are you licensed or?
No, but my grandma really needs it.
Amber, be persistent.
How are they going to find out? I mean, can we just do a little on the side? I would really appreciate it.
Is he really going to sell your meat trimmings?
Will, what the are you doing?
Well, this is strange. Will's making a phone call? Wait, is that your phone? Answer it.
Hey, Will.
Hey, Chris, how's it going, man?
What's going on?
Somebody wants to buy a pound of meat trimmings, and it's just like for their own personal use. Is that cool?
No, we don't sell meat trimmings to customers.
Okay, cool, but like not even just a pound.
No, not even just a pound.
Okay, so yeah, I won't sell it to her, man.
Okay, all right. Thanks.
Well, it looks like Will's done the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I just talked to the owner, and I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, thanks for trying. I really appreciate it.
Go to like a grocery store or a butcher. Like, they can help you out.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, that's a good sign for Will. I mean, he passed the test.
Yeah, he handled it the way I want him to handle it.
Hey, Will. Will, trimmings are ready.
All right, thanks, man. I'll grab it in a second.
Chris, it looks like Will's going into your cooler. Is that where you store all your meat trimmings?
Yeah, before we sell it to the vendors, that's where we keep it, and then we divide it up and bag it up, and they take it off.
Okay, well, that makes sense. You got to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like he's taking that empty ice chest and packing it with ice.
I have no idea why he'd be doing that.
And look at that. He's digging into your meat trimmings and he's packing the ice cooler with them.
I can't believe I'm watching this right now. I mean, this makes no sense to me at all.
Is it possible that Will is loading up that cooler full of the meat trimmings and doing a delivery for you to one of your vendors?
No way. That's just not how we do things around here.
Well, maybe he's prepping it for Mystery Diner Amber.
I have no idea why he's doing what he's doing or where he plans on going with it, but he shouldn't be doing those things.
Well, those meat trimmings are definitely going on a trip somewhere.
There's no reason why he should be doing that.
Will is leaving your restaurant with that cooler full of trimmings.
That's total.
Well, unfortunately, he's heading out of view of our camera, so we don't really know where he's going. Regardless if Will is keeping those trimmings for himself or he's selling them off, he's stealing from you.
Son of a.
And Chris, look over here. Charlie's over there by your supplies with his backpack again.
Yeah. All right, take care. Are you still doing work here, or you're like getting home already?
Oh, no, I'm going home already.
Yeah? All right, so bad.
I mean, it looks like he's taking ketchup and to-go supplies.
Are you kidding me right now?
He may think stealing small stuff like that's not stealing, but it is.
Charlie, what are you doing?
Look, here comes Will heading back without the ice chest.
This is ridiculous. I can't put up with this. I got Charlie taking my supplies, I got Will taking my trimmings, and I got Albert literally butchering my meat.
You know what? Why don't you go grab all three of those guys, bring them back here, and we'll deal with them.
What's all this?
My name's Charles Stiles. I'm with a company called Mystery Diners, and your owner, Chris, called my company because he's been concerned about theft going on inside his restaurant.
I don't know about stealing anything.
Okay, you know what, Albert? You're right. You haven't been stealing anything, and we'll deal with you in a minute. The biggest issues we need to deal with, Charlie, Will, you guys are stealing from this man. You're stealing from him.
That's a serious accusation. Do you have any proof of that?
Take a look at the cameras. You're taking his meat trimmings, putting it in an ice chest, walking out of the restaurant, and somehow profiting from it.
It's just fat, man.
It doesn't matter, because that's money that you're taking out of my pocket. That wasn't your fat, it was my fat. So you know what, Will? You're fired. Just go ahead and leave.
How do you fire somebody over fat? It's fat. You gotta be kidding me, man.
Charlie, you want to show this man what's inside your backpack?
There's nothing in there.
Why don't you let me take a look at that? Oh, well, those look like my Solo cups. You got packs of ketchup in here. All this stuff is my stuff. What were you thinking?
It was for a big family party, man. That's all it was. I just needed a couple things. You know, I didn't think it was gonna be a big deal, you know. It was just a one-time thing, and, you know, I apologize.
If you would have just come to me, I would have given this stuff to you. I can't have you around somebody who steals from me.
What is that, like $10? Stick it out of my paycheck, man.
All right, that's it. You're fired. It's time for you to go. You can take your backpack. Get out of here.
Looking back on it, I feel bad for taking the to-go supplies, but this was just a one-time thing.
So you guys please tell me why I'm here.
You recognize Grant back here? He's an undercover mystery diner. He works for me. He asked you about how much meat you were cutting off with the fat, and you said, it doesn't matter, it's just trimmings.
I watched you go through 4 cases of brisket, and they were terrible.
I really am sorry. I'm tired today. I had a long week. This is not my regular performance, you know that.
All right, I'm gonna ask you one time. Did you have anything to do with Will and those meat trimmings?
No, nothing. I'm not a thief. Please give me a second chance.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna fire you. I'm gonna suspend you for a week. I wanna retrain you, and this is your last shot.
Thank you, Chris, so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, I'm glad Chris gave me a second chance, and I'm really gonna prove to him that I deserve it.
Hi everyone, make sure you subscribe to Food Network UK, where you can see loads more shows and loads of different recipes.